Alright, this thing is on. So, I got a question for y'all. Let's say, if you were to take the thong off of this guy, of this figure, would that make him the best Spider-Man? No answers. Alright, we'll see. I'll have to see in the comments. Anyways, what is good, my boys? It is your boy, Super Boo Boy, and today, the long and awaited review has finally here, and it's the one and only and most anticipated figure, to my knowledge, of the year of 2026, is the SH Figuarts Gamerverse Spider-Man. Holy cow. What a trip. So, this guy was quite the shocker for some people on the internet when people get him in hands and then messed around with him, and let's say people are not impressed, or at the very least they're very mad. And for myself, I would say I was pretty irritated too with how this figure messed around with and how it felt in my hand to mess around with this fig. There's still some good and bad, but we'll have to talk about those things first about this figure, because it disappointed a ton of people. After seeing those beautiful promo shots, we all expected a highly articulated gamerverse Spider-Man that was made in the style of Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, something that's cool. I love this design. And when I saw the promo pictures, I'm like, I can't wait to get this figure. But then when I started seeing people make reviews on it, then my joy was short-lived about it. But there's always a yin and yang. There's always a good and there's bad. So let's start with the good. So we got the box right here. It's quite chunkier from the previous review, which was my SH Figuarts Gamerverse Cyclops. Try saying that 5 times fast. And he was a pretty solid figure introduced in the line. But this guy's Spider-Man, I don't know. He was kind of disappointing for many people. But here's the front of the box. Here's the side. Here's the other side. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. And here's the back, showing these beautiful promo pictures that you would see everywhere, even on Big Bad Toy Store. But I didn't get it off Big Bad Toy Store. I got mine off eBay. At some point, I might purchase from Big Bad Toy Store. I've not done that yet, but it will soon to be. But as you can see, from like this type of picture right here, with the Spider-Man doing his ultimate web throw, you would expect like some pretty high articulation from him doing that move. You won't find it here. But I know what y'all thinking. Just open the box so that we can see the figure, even though he's right there, standing there menacingly. If anything, nothing's menacing about this figure because he's from a game. So, inside the main box, you get all this stuff. So we just dump it out. I don't know what happened here. Probably some box damage, but I guess it wasn't like that, so that's on me. So, inside the box, if you were to open this for the first time, this is what you get in the contents. You, of course, get your figure. Pretty boy Spider-Man. Which, first of all, we got to talk about. Now, if we look past all the bad stuff about the figure itself, my gosh, man. I would say, this is my personal preference, I think this is my favorite style of Spider-Man. No, this is my favorite style of Spider-Man. And the reason why is because I love the more exaggerated proportions of this Spider-Man compared to his more lankier comparisons, unlike my black suit neighbor, which was good. That's the best Spider-Man ever. Has the best mold for Spider-Man. Not like this guy. unfortunately. I have been messing around with this guy for quite a while, and the bad thing is that on my copy, the right leg on him is loose, and same with this shoulder joint. Although it doesn't feel too loose, but I'll probably still fix it. But besides loose leg, the other leg is fine, and there were some tight joints, like in the neck piece. It would make a gigantic creak sound. And then the same with this shoulder joints. Well, not this one. This one was fine. This one needed the work. And then also around the ab area, which when we get to the ab area, it's garbage. But looking past that, back to what it looks like. If you are wondering, yes, he does have painted in web lines. It is not it's not visible on my camera, but if you have it in person, you'll see. Most people can't even get it in person because, surprise, surprise, it's a SH Figuarts. It's going to cost you $100. That's the problem with some of these figures. I've heard that the SH Figuarts Gamerverse Wolverine is short on accessories and is the same price as this guy. Which, to me, that's absurd. I think they should have priced it maybe like $70 or $80 for a figure with like 2 hands and like 2 faces. But, I don't know. SH Figuarts, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Tamashii Nations is doing now. They used to make so many good figures. I collected like the Dragon Ball stuff, and it was really cool. But they've been really going downhill when it comes to these Gamerverse figures. But what is a figure, of course, without accessories? So, this Spider-Man right here, he comes with 2 heads. We'll start at the very top with the heads. You get this neutral face, which has nice, big, painted eyes. There's no sloppiness here. I'm glad they did a nice paint job on this copy. And you get this expression, which is a shocked expression. As you can see, there is a difference in the eyes. One is a bit wider. And you simply pop off the head, and you connect it. There we go. Fit like a glove. And that way, it has a more shocked expression. Now, there is an accessory that can go with the expression, which are these spider senses, or the Peter Tingle. That's so stupid. And Tom Holland Spider-Man, the Peter Tingle. Okay. No! Son of a... Damn it. Ah! Don't mind that. Anyways, in order to attach this, you would need this piece, which comes in the box. It is a clear plastic that has this little slider. So you could just slide this on, which is a snug fit and does not scratch at the plastic. To my knowledge, I don't use it much. And all you have to do to put it on the back, you have to use this tiny tool to pry this tiny piece out of his back to make the hole. So then you can plug it into his back. And there you go. You have an okay spider sense. It's not the best. Because when you put it in different directions, it just kind of looks weird. So it's only really good for the front. It's like cardboard engineering, like I said in my Transformers Masterpiece Bumblebee review. If y'all haven't seen that, go watch that video. I have some pretty kind words for that figure, if I do say so myself. But I would say a Spider-Man figure that's pulled this off better was the Marvel Legends Maximum Spider-Man, which I did sell out of my collection. He was kind of clogging up stuff, and I don't know, I had no need for it anymore. I will be selling some figures in my collection, and they will be all listed on eBay. And I won't just be selling figures, I'll be selling some other things. Shameless plug. But besides that, that's what you get for head accessories. For your hands, you of course get your pair of fists, which are nicely done. Sound down. My toilet does that. I don't know why. And no, I didn't have Taco Bell. It didn't clog the toilet. It just does that at random. You get these wall crawling hands, which are really nice. You get these thwipping hands, of course, which is Spider-Man without thwipping hands. If it didn't have thwipping hands, 0 out of 10. SH Figuarts, get the out of my house. You get these open hands, of course, very nice. And you get these gripping / thumbs up hands. If you were not to include this pathetic web line, it only comes with one, unfortunately. And all you got to do to plug it into the hand, there is a hole meant for this web line to fit snugly, and it doesn't wobble around. There you go. It doesn't come out. You just got to make sure. And also, I would suggest maybe being a bit gentle, because if you notice a tiny bit, I don't know if y'all can tell on camera, there's like a tiny bit of red paint chip on it. So I would suggest you be careful with sliding in this, because it can chip paint, which shouldn't be the case on a $100 figure. You shouldn't be worried about paint chipping. Like, not at all. It shouldn't be any kind of inconvenience, but I guess it is. You can also use this hand to plug in this little adapter for this spider shield, which is a move he uses in the game. Have I mentioned this is from a game? Yeah, I don't think I have. Based on Marvel vs. Capcom, of course. That's why I like it so much, because it's based off a really cool fighting game. But yeah, you can slide in the hand into the adapter, so that, and in order to swap out the hands, since they are tiny ball joints, I would suggest using this method that I saw from Nostalgia Collection or Nostalgia Collects. He said that to put the hand at a 90-degree angle and just gently pry at this tiny ball joint, which has me worried because it could snap. And then you just, there we go. It's kind of scary to put in to stress such a tiny piece. But yeah, you can do that, and boom, you got a spider shield. Or, he could be a cosplay as Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins. Sorry. Anyways, that's all the accessory. Hold on, man. Fine. You get this as well, I guess. This stupid cardboard backdrop. Seriously, why waste the budget on these when you could, I don't know, make a better figure, I guess? Why don't we try that for a change, huh? I'm just picturing what they're thinking at Tamashii Nation. They're like, so, boss, we're making our new SH Figuarts Spider-Man for the gamerverse, and we don't know what else to include in it. We already put these hands, we already put a web line, although I think we should put another web line. No, we should do it just like Cyclops. Give him a cardboard background. It'll be the coolest thing ever. You know what, boss? I think I hear you out. That's Josmil and Marcus, head co-workers at Tamashii Nations, arguing about this BS. Also, you don't get a stand, unlike oh my gosh. Just like in the Cyclops video, I'm stuttering. Just like with my goat, Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, he comes with a stand at least. This guy does not come with a stand. No stand for you. See how loose that leg is? I could just flick him and he just goes forward. Also, I'm just kidding. So, Gotovich. Okay, so, for real, that's all the accessories. Now, the one thing that drove people insane and just made people lunatics. What the hell? Oh, no. That's great. The left arm is now tightening. WD-40. Hold on, guys. Y'all never seen this. A guy fixing up his figure in the middle of a review. Use your reverse. Oh my God. I can't say crap, man. That's still tight. I'm gonna have to really fix it up. Anyways, so the thing that drove people insane about this figure was the articulation, because to my knowledge, it is deemed as the worst articulation on a Spider-Man figure. Now, to be clear, Spider-Man is a very expressive character with his body. He can pull off any type of bodily movement. But this guy, he just doesn't cut it. So, starting off the head, you do get a swivel at the head, full 360, thanks to a ball joint at the base of the neck, and a ball joint here, but although this one doesn't do much, it's just mostly the neck. You do it some side to side, just like so. You can look up that far, which is pretty nice, and you can look down that far, even with the big chest. There we go. You do get some pretty good butterfly joints, although this one is tight right here. I'm gonna have to fix that with some WD-40. This one is the loose one, which works just fine, so we'll just use this one. It has some slight up and down, just like that. You do get a ball joint, hinge joint combo at the shoulder, just like with Cyclops. The gamerverse figures, they're going to relatively have the same amount of articulation. I don't know about that SH Figuarts Psylocke, though. I can't wait to get that figure. My goodness. It's going to be amazing. I hope so. For $100, though. We just have to wait for people to get them in hand in oh my gosh, in November. Crap, got WD-40 on me. You do get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which reveals some more sculpted detail for the elbow, which is a nice touch. You do get hinge joint at the wrist and a swivel, as always, standard thing. Now we move on to the worst part. So let's spread his arms out. So for upper abdominal movement, you get pretty good. You get a ton of range. It can move up and down, barely, kind of a chode, and it can swivel a ton. Just like that, side to side. And you would expect a big ball joint here at the waist, but no, you don't. You get a tiny, tiny ball joint that only allows that amount of crunch. So you get a deemingly terrible crunch and a not so good arcing back, which only shows off that big ass butt. No BBL, by the way. So stupid. And also, people point out how ugly the thong piece here looks. I think it's kind of ugly too, but I don't mind it. Just, I don't know. It's kind of unnecessary articulation cuts, as some people say. You do get a kick. Loose leg, I'll just use this leg. This one's tight. You can move up. You can move back that far, which is nice. You do get a beautiful spread. Almost fully thing. You get a thick thigh swivel. A double jointed knee, which leaves slight gapping, which can't go down even further. It's not the best. You do get down and up at the ankle, a toe bend, and of course, a beautiful pivot. So, the posability of this guy, it's not that bad. I did have a scrapped video of this guy that I was going to post, but do some editing. But, I don't know. I was too harsh, and I was already starting to hate on the figure. But now that I've been messing around with him, he's not so bad. He's not good either, but he's not that bad. I just wish his leg would actually not be loose. I'll use super glue later. But he just, the most part of it, he only fails at the abdominal movement, to my knowledge. No, why do I keep saying that? That's redundant. He only fails at the abdominal movement because it kind of sucks with the ingenuity they pulled off or they try to do. The Cyclops didn't struggle any problem besides me having to mod it, But besides that, it's a good figure because it actually articulates good. I say he has a better crunch than this guy. But that's totally up to you guys. I heard that there is a third-party company that's going to make a bootleg or like a third-party version of this figure. It's the same mold, but it's going to have a rubbery crotch piece, which should allow for more movement. I can't with this stupid loose leg. I really just want to fix it. But if you guys plan to sell your kidneys to buy this figure or an arm and a leg, be my guest, all right? But seriously, I don't really recommend this guy if you're a avid collector and trying to make a cool Marvel vs. Capcom. I would suggest maybe Maximum Spider-Man because he's got solid joints. He's got the movement a little bit, but he doesn't have the style. That's the one thing. This guy has the style, but it doesn't have the movement, unfortunately. But of course, there's always good and bad, and I still picked him up because, again, he's my favorite style of Spider-Man, in my opinion, and I think he is pretty cool, in my opinion. Of course, y'all can say whatever you want in the comments. You're like, oh, you're wasting money, bro. I know, but I do this for content, and for collecting stuff. Anyways, that was my review of this guy. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all drop a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with new videos and shorts and with posts as well to keep you guys updated on things. My next review, it'll probably follow suit with these gamerverse figures, hopefully. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Also, drop a comment if y'all want to. Leave a like. Love y'all.